And if they simply would have had this title over here in their keywords and also down here in their description, now we have a singing, we have this resonance. All of a sudden we have this symphony. What's going on here? What's going on here? Because they got there by accident. You want to know why? Because they have, I don't know, let's see how many subscribers they have. They have 431,000 subscribers. That's it. They have no authority. They ought not to be there. Is Merlin R. Sparks with Silver Crest Academy, and I'm here with Brandy and Ryan, I don't even want to call them founders, the rememberers.
Yeah, that sounds more like it.
Well, they realized the as above, so below, and since 2023, 4th of July, not Donald Trump, not the IRS, not the DOJ, there's a list of all these organizations that have been unable to rebut what it is. So Brandy, Ryan, would you share the vision of what AERA ARK is and how it is that, what it is that we're doing?
So thank you for that and for being here. When we started, so AERA ARK didn't start as the name AERA ARK. It started back years ago when I first met Ryan, and I called it the universe. But it was, what's interesting is it was a vision given to me. I was basically a nomad, a homeless nomad. I had no place to live that I stayed in. I was just going to where I could crash for the night or for the month or whatever. And Creator gives me this massive vision that made me think he was crazy. Because I'm like, I am homeless. I have no money. I don't know how I'm going to do any of this. What are you talking about? And I don't even know law. And he was like, yes, you do. You know law. You know the real law. And that's what this is about. It's not about these statutes, codes, and legalities that they are parroting in our mind's eye constantly and they're superior than us and they can govern over us. It's about the law that makes all of us exist, the law that keeps all of our bodies so we can even have a physical dimension to experience each other with, the law that's woven into everything. And so the legal system itself is inside of the ether that we're all in, just like we're inside of it. So unless they're outside of it and they created the ether and all of us, then they don't supersede on the same level playing field as us. So therefore, they don't have the ability to supersede our authority. If they could supersede our authority, then when they say a command, my body would just innately do it. It would not, I wouldn't be able to stop it if they had true authority over us. So these things that I knew about molecular law became, because I never studied the legal system. I just had common sense and a knowing of molecular law and was like, okay, well, you're making all these claims that you have this over me, this authority over me, so I'm going to challenge all of your claims. And I sent in all these documents. I ended up in a place where it was like a symphony. I was my health wasn't well, and I just ended up in a place that had everything I needed to get all of this out of me into documents. And I did, and I put it in black books, packaged it up really well, and sent it off to all these different agencies he was talking about. And I gave them 30 days to provide me the proof that they had any kind of, hey, did you make molecular matter? Did you author the ether? Because to me, authority is an author, something that authors the creation of. So if I can't author the molecule that makes up molecular matter in all of us, then I'm not an author. I can be, I have authority, I have authority sourced to me, but I don't have the authority. And so that was what I challenged them, making claims that they were the author of anything. And when I did that, I didn't know about tacit acceptance. I didn't know about all these legal terms and all these ways that people do these documents and all that. I didn't know any of it. All I knew was I'm not going to masquerade myself around as a role anymore. I'm not going to pretend to be this paper. I'm not going to let you think you have this authority over me. So we're going to have conversations about this instead of just going on like nothing's actually going on here, like the world has been going for so long. So like he was saying on July 4th, I didn't plan that. That was just how it came out. And I found it ironic and funny to trade independence for authority that day. And we sent those documents in, and it was a declaration of kingdom. So the kingdom of heaven as a domicile jurisdiction. And we sent in the notice of kingdom to put them on notice and say, here's the things we need you to prove, like your authorship, that you can supersede my free will. just simple, basic things like that. And they couldn't come back with it. And it's been 3 years since that day. And they have not been able to still to this day rebut it. And then last year we sent in another document, which was 230 pages long. And it was a trust, and it anchored in everything that we were doing. It was a protective trust to anchor in all the work that we do here. So we gave them another 28 days to respond, and we sent that out to 28 different agencies, and none of them responded except 2. And that was the Secretary of the Attorney General of the United Nations wrote back and said that they don't have any competence over the matter, which in their legal definitions means no legal authority or jurisdiction over what we do. So we got that response back from them, and they're the hierarchy when it comes to all the different agencies here in the United States and other countries. So if they say, hey, we don't have jurisdiction, then the rest of the agencies have to follow suit with that. But it literally leads back to none of them have authority to say anything. So whether they think they do or not is irrelevant. They can make these claims, but here what we do is we take the essence of man, translate it into expression, and then send the expression off so that they can be put on notice that, hey, I am no longer identifying with this fiction that you've claimed that I am my entire life. I don't have to. And if you think that I have to, please provide that proof. I will be happy to look it over and us talk about these things together. But we've used this with challenging property tax. We've used it with warrants. We've used it with, there's so many things we've used. You're giving them the ability to respond and say, hey, if you don't, this is what it means on record. So you're agreeing to all of our terms. And if we were to ever go into a courtroom, say we gave them authority to take us into one, well, those things are on record. And we don't, and that the judge isn't going to see that. That's what the courtroom's looking for. What's the record? Who has the record of the truth? And we do. So therefore, by default, if any of these agencies ever tried to make a claim, they would have to go through 4 years of records of unrebutted questions, non-challenged questions that they agreed to. And the judge would be like, why didn't you challenge these years ago? Why are you waiting until now to challenge all of this? That's where we're at. We're just helping mankind remember who they are and that they are the law. And that's one of the things that I responded to one of the attorneys in Texas when he asked me, do you practice law? No, I am the law. It's woven into me. He didn't know how to answer that one.
Like, wait, she didn't say yes or no.
So anyway, this is what we do. And we don't just, we're not a free for all of the chaos in the world to come in and just return back into the same system that we have right now. We vet everyone that comes through and becomes a resident inside of our domicile, because we're liable for each person that comes through, with us backing them with our word. And we send in the documents on their behalf. So we like to make sure that everybody that comes into our community is very high vibrational, and they have an awareness about themselves to consider all of the molecular matter, not just their own. And so that's why we're very protective of our community, and our community loves that about what we have. And it's a very peaceful place to be. But we do all of that. We write trusts, and yeah, it's a great experience to now be able to stand publicly, because for a while there, I just had it. And I was like, I don't know what I did it. Thanks for giving me the inspiration. I did it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but thanks. and then it all just flew out of me last year, and it's been just rising and compounding ever since then. So we've been building out estate management software so that we can manage our own estates, which is our biofield estate. So we're not even talking about a physical, like they talk about, none of that. We define our own words, because who gave them authority to say that words mean what they say they have to mean? So we took the words and we defined them based off form and function. So if I say physical biological manifestation, I'm talking about a physical biological form and a manifestation as a function. So I take those and I redefine everything, and I tell them that you can't define me by your own legal system anymore. You have to define me by these definitions that I've given you.
Yeah.
And that has made it where there hasn't been a lawyer that has been able to discredit what I've done. In fact,
They agree with us.
Yeah, the ones that know anything about themselves and molecular matter in the field around them, they agree that we're spot on with what we're doing. And we have lawyers sharing our stuff. So it's been a wild ride, and we're really excited for where it's going.
And it didn't even start out like in
the legal system. Like she said, it started years ago. It was
It
just,
started with personal development.
yeah, it was just about
Why am I screwing myself? Let me
Yeah.
figure this out.
helping you figure out, navigate your own soul and discerning your own choices, because every choice you make dictates the future that you run into, what you walk into. So it's about, well, if I make amplifying choices, then I'm going to have an amplifying experience. Well, let's define amplifying. What does that look like? Is that health? Is that mental clarity? Is that peace of mind? Like stuff like that versus choosing what the world chooses and temporary, uh, what is it?
Satisfaction, instant
Satisfaction, thinking,
gratification.
taking something that might feel good in the moment, but actually has a side effect and something bad on the back end. Like being able to see the future of the choices you make and what they lead you down to. And it all comes down to the molecular matter, the molecular law that supersedes. It's like, it's the same thing in like a
What it
bait
says right there, where law returns
or
to
law
origin.
returns to origin.
It existed before anything
Exactly.
that man could produce existed because man came from that law.
Yeah, like we don't have say over it. Like you put a seed in the ground, you water it. Do you have to sit there and every single day tell the seed, make sure you grow, make sure you get up there? And that message for what we're doing here at AERA ARK, it didn't take off officially until we brought that law into the legal system. And everyone was like, oh, okay. And wow, the law of England, they reference molecular law. They don't call it molecular law, they call it something else. But it's there in their writing and they use it. You can use it in court. You can use it as proof.
Yeah.
It's just that nobody sees it because that means you have to believe that there's a creator, and the world has been brainwashed to think that there isn't. So they don't ever reference it. They think that man and the law that they created is the God. So you have to reference the codes and the policies and the UCC shit because that's your God.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, well, before that, there was another one. There was the original.
How do you think you were even able to write it out on a piece of paper and the paper hold its form and function, or
Yeah.
your body hold its form and function during the process of expressing it?
So it's like little things that you ask why enough. Like, okay, well, one of the things we referenced on one of the calls when someone says, well, I have to go to court. Why do you believe that? Well, because the slick said that. Well, who told you that's true? Well, this person. And who gives them credibility? Well, the magistrate. Well, who gave them the credibility? And you realize like it all comes down to somebody somewhere made it up and that made everyone else believe that they had power. But we all have the same amount of power, but the true underlying code, the algorithm creator, that is the source. And that's what we have to realize is what runs it. You just have to know how to run with it. You just have to know how to flow with it. And most people don't know how to flow with it, let alone know it exists.
Yeah.
They don't know it exists.
So when people come to us about a situation with law or whatever, and we're like, well, the first thing you have to do is fix your narrative inside yourself. What story are you telling? Because that's what you're attracting to yourself. So when you say, well, the cops are coming to get me and I'm just going to go to jail and it's going to go this way. Well, buckle up and hang on, bud, because that's where you're going. That's exactly where you're going. You're not going to somewhere else other than where you say you're going. That's how this field works.
And like you said, it's based on fear. That it's the duality of this matrix. You got fear, you have love, you have good, you have evil, you have faith, and you have not faith. Like it's that counterpart, but we actively choose which one we partake in every single day, the as above jurisdiction or the so below jurisdiction. Are you succumbing to fear-based choices, worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, stress, like little things that bring your energy down? Or are you choosing to actively not partake in that energy, which does take conscious thought, right? It's not, in order for it to be subconscious or automatic, you first have to make it conscious. You have to actually like think about it, which requires brain power and utilizing the things that God gave us. So now it's about choosing it every single day until that force, I don't want to say forced choice, but that conscious choice becomes natural.
Yeah.
Restoring any habit takes time to rebuild. You don't just start at day one and automatically it clicks. Some people they do. We call that word talent, and it just kind of flows. But at the end of the day, you want to make a new habit, you got to actively choose to do that thing that you had not been doing for years or so, or for your whole life, to do it every single day. And we call that discipline. Disciplining yourself, doing the things that are uncomfortable, but you know are good for you. So that means anytime you make a choice, you got to think, well, before I make this choice, like, do I want to work with this person? They might have the things that I need on the outside, but are they internally ready? Are they actually like at peace? Or am I about to go into some chaos because they have this temporary thing that I think I need? Oh, I need that money. Do you want that money? Because it's tethered to that person. And if you get tethered to that person, you might get that money up front, but you're going to succumb to the chaos below. And you know what the world calls that? Selling your soul. Do you want to sell your soul for the conveniences and the right now all package bundled cute awesome looking shiny object syndrome thing, or do you want to take time to think, I'm more valuable than having to put myself into the space of lack, that I think I need to stoop down to this level because I need this thing. No, you have it already. You just have to align with that universe, that timeline that actually allows you to have it. But that starts here. It starts by actively choosing it every single day, and then creators algorithm starts forming your matrix reality to see and experience that on a daily basis. Essentially what we're doing with AERA ARK is just helping people remember that
And
common sense.
one last thing before we get done saying our spiel here is that we're, like he said, the remembers, we're just reminders of the as above and so below jurisdictions. And these are chambers of actual vibration frequency. And so when we are choosing one or the other, we're opening up the portal. We're the real stargates, and we're opening the essence of each of these dimensions to ourself, within ourself, anytime we're choosing actions that are aligning with the vibrations of these two places. So the kingdom of heaven and AERA ARK derived from the as above in the choices that we make, and the legal system and its chaos and its dysfunction all derive from the so below. And things that derive from the so below are distorted, and they're very dispersed in their molecular matter. So they can't, even if they wanted to grab hold of something and hold it and forcefully keep it forever, they could not. Whereas something from the as above is very dense, and it can manifest those dense things through its hands, and they can't do that. So anyway, that's our spiel for the day.
And this is what's fun about the weekly calls, is we get in, we chat about the legal line and how these roles just disappear and become completely fraudulent, and how any man and woman who animates, why are they animating, and all of this. Those are the conversations that we're getting into. And I'm going to be a testimonial here in a very, very short future. Apparently, there's a lot of warrants out for my arrest. Apparently, there's a lot of, 4 years worth of restraining orders that are completely based on a perspective. And that perspective, I'll just say, it controlled me for 16 years. And when I said no, it continued with that. So it's going to be a lot of fun to implement these. And when I first came onto AERA ARK only a few weeks ago, I discovered again what this is and what it is that you're saying. I realized that, wow, optimal time, optimal place. And you all were launching, you're in this launch, that you got this website, you have this WAP that didn't exist. And for me, what I always find is I'm right there, right at the beginning, to be able to be a catalyst. You have everything. You are already documenting all of these videos. And this is what I love about where I am. This is a confirmation moment. You got 2 for 2. You've done it. 2 for 2. You got it. This is the realization of the 2, of the placenta, of the maritime lien, and all the black magic of where it sources. And this is the stuff that I'm going to get on the first page of Google and YouTube. And it may not be the voice that others may say, though I'm going to rock what it is that they think that they built their church on. And I'm going to shake that motherfucker. And anyone who wants to place their public notice, their declarations, their proclamations, their I am here, I am a man, I am not this legal fictionated 14th Amendment citizen character person that is able to act in the Plato's cave, in this 2-dimensional field. I am a man, and here is, and I've been attempting, oh my gosh, I'm going to go back here for a little bit, go to the blog. And I was pretty close. I mean, I had this law section, and man, good old William Blackstone were hanging out, and who is this guy? And to be able to now come with it with a completely different perspective. This is where I found myself after this, is what's after the paperwork, what's after no money. What happens when we have multiple rivers of passive profits where our channels open up and can't stop till you get enough. Oh, and that beat is coming out, and this attunement's coming out, and you're going, I'm not moonwalking. I have found what is real, not reality, not a tiny reality. I'm not an authority. I'm the author. I'm the golden hammer of the word, the thunder that comes out. And how today will it get on the first page of Google and YouTube? But so this is going to be documenting the last few days to be able to know that there are a few tools that everyone is going to be required to have. And with anybody who is interested, the Self-Trust Quick Start Guide 3.0 will have all of this documentation inside, so step by step. So if you don't have a pen and paper right now and you simply want to hear it for the first time, 7 to 17 times, you'll be able to know how exactly to put any video on the first page of Google and YouTube. So the first one is Keyword Surfer. And Keyword Surfer will simply tell you how many are going to be searching that every month. So you'll know, is this a good keyword or not? And then over here on the right side, I blow this guy up so it has as many as possible. And then here are the options for keywords. At the beginning, when you're creating this authority, the idea is 10 to 15 videos that are focused around whatever it is that you're doing. The other day, I decided to have these keywords. How do I get on the first page of Google? How do we get on the first page of Google for free? First page on Google. And the question is, why would I do that? I'm not the first page of Google guy. And there are 170 people a month. There's someone who's willing to pay $13.09 to get up here at the very top and to be able to have a video. And let's go and see how these videos did over the last few days. It was a quick experiment. The content, we're gonna go to my channel, and over the last few years, I've deleted 8 years worth of content, 9 years worth of content. I completely demolished it. So whether you have an older channel, you've got a new channel, it works well with anything and everyone. So my stuff was about spiritual discovery, shadow work, self-hypnosis, attuning to the optimal, dissolving timelines, and finding oneself out of the mirrorverse after shattering everything, so there's not a drop of stardust that remains, and all I see is my starseed. You're in the most dense place that I'm able to have all that I'm required to nourish myself. And I deleted everything that used to be about financial education, everything that tied me to the world of, I'm going to be your financial guy, and because you can't get on my calendar anymore. And all of this was based towards go to the calendar, go to the calendar, go to the calendar. So whether you're selling a product, you want somebody to, you're there to help them with words or your transformation, whatever it is that you offer, regional, national, global, this does not matter. We're going to go to this channel here, choose Healy. There's these little frequency medicine devices that I'm no longer going to be there to help those. I mean, every once in a while, but they've got weekly stuff where they have people to help, technicians and stuff. So what I do is I created content that helped go down to the deeper to be able to exactly in that moment to be able to, there was a grief cycle coming up, be able to see that moment. So instead of going into shock, the first state of grief, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, open loop, unsure, I see those moments, I see myself, I see reality. And those who are seeking that, they used to find my calendar. They used to find, and I've got offered trips around the world. They just gave these to me because I got one actually from Gentry. That's funny. And then people just started buying them. They were searching for all of these terms, and I found myself troubleshooting the Healy. Having number one, troubleshooting the Healy device. Troubleshooting, Healy troubleshooting. That's still me years later. 5 years later, anybody wants to go to troubleshooting, they're going to find me. So where would I be placing myself with any product, any service, any whatever? And I'm going to be basing all of my keywords around that. I've got 500 characters. And those characters, very simply, this is as easy as it is, will be done in 2 minutes. And once you get this, as long as when you are going for something, whatever it is, and you want to have that first page placement and know that build a castle over here with a moat, boom, and it's done. 6 months later, you delete these keywords and you do it again, 10 to 15. You do it 2 years, you do it 5 years, whenever you want to turn on and off a funnel. So right now it is with 499 characters, I have 15 of these. Now, if I truly wanted to continue this, I don't. I set this up specifically so that I'm in this process of documenting how to create a landing page, how to create an automated system so that those 10 or 15 videos that speak to those 10 or 15 keywords, and those keywords are in every video, those keywords are behind every thumbnail, those keywords are in every description, they're everywhere, and they're the same keyword. And now what happens is the AI is listening. If I'm speaking to it, how to get on the first page of Google, it's transcribing. And now also it is in the channel settings here. I was going for how to get on the first page of Google, how to get on the first page of, and I didn't do how to get on the first page of YouTube. I could have done that and then had those first pages. And that's what's fun about this is I did this to show others what they would be able to do in a very short amount of time. And so let's see how they did. There's 180 people here, 200 people there, 500 people there, 1,000 people there every single month. Oh yeah, it did all right. 15, that's on third. This was the first video. There was 3-4 videos that were focused on how to get on the first page of Google. Though when somebody wants to learn more about how to stand in court or what is equity, and this one did a little bit better. How to get on first page of Google. I mean, number 2, I could just leave that there. And what's fun about that is above the fold, when we go to the video, there's a rule of 3. They're going to look for a transformation. They're going to watch and learn about a transformation. And then they're going to click something above the fold to go obtain that transformation. Here's the transformation. It's super simple. It's super easy. This form right here, it goes into a sequence, and that sequence right now, it has 2 videos. It's nothing much. Every day that I document a video, I'll place it on the first page of Google. I'll place it in here. I'll put it on a blog if I choose to, and be able to have this network that when anybody goes looking for, and let's just see it, Self Trust Academy, boom, first page. It's easy. It's easy to be able to know that any keyword, as long as you have it attuned. So Ryan, what would be, if you were looking for yourself 3 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, when life was like, wow, and there was legal, what would you go on the internet and search for to find what it is that you know now?
Well, almost 10 years ago when I started coming to this, I didn't ever even use the word God or creator out because of religious context and backgrounds for me. So I was like, universe, like how does universe work? Like stuff like
Or
that.
how do I
Okay.
trust?
Like how do I trust? Like things like that, like things that I ask myself internally, but it was mainly, I'm always that rabbit hole guy. I was the guy that went down every rabbit hole. So the universe was like the first thing.
I can hear people now. How do I get out of the speeding ticket?
Boom. There we go. And because there's multiple different, there's and this is what's beautiful. Once you see there's 210 people every single month, they're going, well, how does the universe work? Wait a second. And I'm also able to get the deed for my home. You tell me that my sons and daughters are always going to be secure and not in somebody else's safe to take care, and to be able to know how does the universe work, TV series. And at the very beginning, we could do some research. We could see who the competition is in reality when we look at, and let's do that currently, how to get out of a speeding ticket. Out of a speeding ticket. We'll look at ticket and in court. If you wanted to dominate anything, everything about speeding tickets and do a 3-month run, a 6-month run, a 10 video run. How to fight a traffic ticket in court has 720. This is a blue ocean. You want to know why? Because here we go. We're going to see how shitty, and this is what I look for. I look for shit. I look for a shitty setup. Why are these videos here? Look at this video, how to get out. Let's check it out. Let's go to these top 3. Let's see what they are doing. And I will tell you, there's not going to be any tags over here. I'll tell you, there's not going to be anything clickable that's actually going to be of value. Oh, they do have tags. Well, guess what? There's shitty tags that don't coincide. How to easily get out of a speeding ticket. Where else is that anywhere? It's not in the description. It's not in the tags. And as you'll see over here in TubeBuddy, and I'll put all the links because I do affiliate marketing. And if you go to TubeBuddy and you use the link, they'll give you special stuff because I was there right at the beginning. And if they simply would have had this title over here in their keywords and also down here in their description, now we have a singing, we have this resonance. All of a sudden we have this symphony. What's going on here? What's going on here? Because they got there by accident. You want to know why? Because they have, I don't know. Let's see how many subscribers they have. They have 431,000 subscribers. That's it. They have no authority. They ought not to be there, and they will not be there. Same thing with this other video. Nope. How to get out any ticket in court. None of that. Oh. Let's see where else. It is in the title and the description. I'll show you where it's not. In any and every single picture. You go to the property, and this is the same with the videos. There is one place here, and then boom, 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 5 places in a JPEG. In a PNG, there's only 4, so I do JPEG a lot. Let's go ahead and attune one of these. So if I'm going into let's check this one out. The difference between the perspective of fertilization, infinitely exponentially multiplying, the fallopian tubes, the Genesis 2:2, on the first 6 days, all God's work was done. On the 7th day, he rested. And if I were to believe that conception, that 7th day of rest, is my beginning, now shit, I'm in Fibonacci sequence, and now they're getting all the loosh. So now here I am, I'm attuning this thumbnail. But what I'm going for is I'm going to do whatever it is, and in here, it has to be semicolon delineated. So we're going to do Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio, semicolon, no space, conception and fertilization, semicolon. And when I'm doing this for a video, and I'm going to be doing that next, or whenever it comes to a thumbnail, is I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to hit Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And what happens on the back end, this is the metadata. If anybody's into reality transurfing, this is the meta power. This is what's behind the mirror. We are placing this behind the mirror so the mirror knows how to act. We are tuning AI. It's a beautiful thing. So that's all that we're required when going into that section. Now let's go into some other videos. We'll go into a testimonial. Let's go into Orion's. I'm looking at his, and I'm just doing this to update it. So let's say the video is about fertilization and conception and whatever it is and how they are, whatever it might be. Now I'm going to place all of these thumbnail or these keywords, and there are many places to place these. Now these are the same 10 or 15 different keywords that are going to be on the channel, on the YouTube channel. They're going to be in every single thumbnail. They're going to be in every single video, and you're going to be speaking these when you create the video. They're going to be in the description, and they're going to be in the title, and that's it. Once you have that, and once you have a quality video, this thing, I'm not going to hit save. Well, I guess I will. We'll see how it looks. We just want to make sure that, I give it 5 stars, that every single place of these now is here. Notice, composers, and also contributing artists, where the directors and producers and writers and all of these, the title, the subtitles, they are able to take anywhere from 10 or 15 keywords. The contributing artists and also the composers may only take 4 to 5. So what I do is I'll show you exactly. There'll be a long list. You'll see this. This will be able to be accepted here and then here. It'll take all of these. This guy will not. It'll only take a few. So just know that once you have a video and you have a thumbnail and all of the description is there, then what will happen, and we're going to go to, see, this guy doesn't even have any tags. He doesn't even have anywhere to click. It's curious. But over here, you'll see there they are. There are the keywords behind the video. So you're able to see the keywords on the video. You're able to see that this is, how do you get the first page of Google for free? And how do you get on the first page of Google? Right there. And then we go down here and we'll also see that, how do you get on the first page of Google for free? And when we go into the channel settings, we look at the channel. How do you get on the first page of Google for free? Let's see, where is it? How do you get on the first page? And then the next video that I would create is, how do I get on the first page? How do I get on the first page of Google? How do I get on the first? And it seems very similar. It's not. They're different, or wouldn't let me put any of these keywords in here. And so with any video that you're doing, you're saying what is it you're going to place behind the properties and the metadata of the video that you create, the channel that you set up, the thumbnails that you post. See this post right here, that they are able to do auto-generated. You don't want that. You'll miss out on 5 places where you'll be able to harmonize and attune. And knowing that, then it just comes down to consistency, discovering how the avatar of this faded sacred geometry orc field is most optimal, so that I know this manifester with a 5-wing 6 Enneagram archetype, that it is optimal and how it functions in its most optimal place, and knowing it is for clarity and explanation. And to be able to be here and answer and open up to anybody's questions, it seems overwhelming at the very beginning. And yes, it's able to go somewhere that at the very beginning, oh, you got a few videos, you don't have a landing page yet, you don't have a setup where they're going to get automated emails. If anybody wants it, they just go to Self Trust Academy. They'll sign up and I'll have step-by-step on how to do all of this. There's no charge for any of this, by the way, to get any of these resources, to know how to put the song of your soul that came here to be sung and place it to. I'm on the side where the AI is going to see me and go, ah, you're great, move along, human, or non-human, man, move along, man. And it's whatever, they're reaping the humans. The humans are dead, whatever it is, the songs that they're telling. And to be able to know that that's why I'm here. Everybody has a reason. I found mine. So to be able to come out with authentic intelligence, to be able to attune the artificial intelligence so it knows what is real. This is real. It is real. Right here. And that's about it. So if anybody has any questions, open it up and
Seems pretty simple. You just got to know where to click and where to put it. Just copy, and when you find the keywords, I love how you put it on the images too. You don't even, simple and effective, and it just gets you all over the place.
And you can even use, like he was saying, AI to take a video you've already made and have it search for the keywords, transcribe the video, have it find the keywords you use most, and then use those keywords. So you don't even have to think about, let me write out these keywords and then I'm going to make a video based on keywords. Do
Yeah.
it the opposite of that.
Yeah, I would have it maybe like cross-reference and take like the technology. So this is what's in my head. We have like AI that now that you can like upload this video. Just headbutting my collarbone.
Good change.
There's videos that you could like, you could take the video, like this video that you're making right now, upload it, teach it to an AI agent, and then have that agent take the video that you made and say, now take the the words in the entirety of my video and now find the words that I've said in my video and cross-reference it with the route that you just showed it so that it finds the most viral words that it can connect in the video and off of it so that it can plug and play and create this systematic machine that can literally take everything you put and just automatically do it for you. So that's where my head's at. We're in a process right now where we're trying, like we told you before, we're trying to automate everything, and little things like this can be done. What's up? Your tooth, is it loose? Oh, my son's tooth, his second tooth is about to fall out. I'm gonna go grab it. But it's literally, that's where we're at with this. And I think with the system, everyone should be able to use it, especially inside of our community, the residents, because every majority of them, if not all of them, have something to offer. They all have their own business ventures. They all have their thing that they're trying to push. So by getting that on top of everything, I want everyone in this community to be like on the front page of Google. That would be so cool. Just another service to offer.
And I created what you were talking about, Ryan, about transcribing it, putting it in
Yeah.
AI, pulling it out. I'm in the process. I sat down maybe 10 minutes before this, created a form that the videos that I'm going to be putting out. That's what's also beautiful is when anybody goes searching for AERA ARK,
Yeah.
I could be the first one that they could
You're gonna beat
find.
us at our own game.
Well, it's funny. Why is Merlin creating this video about who the fuck is Rene Garcia? If anybody knows reality transurfing or has any heard about Vadim, Vadim Zealand. Well, we've been in communication because I got in her school group. I've been studying reality transurfing for 9 years now, and well, I'm ready to play with others with reality transurfing. I want to play. So I created a video of, hey, Renee, I just took over your name. And then we chatted on Facebook or whatnot. We'll see if we become friends. If not, even better. To be able to be here and whatever service it is, when you know how to do this, if you want to affiliate anything, or if somebody has a video that's putting out, oh, I don't know, bullshit, and you go, no. Those ain't contrails up there. That's not exhaust coming. I'm not even sure how those planes run, but they ain't running on jet fuel. And to be able to place what is real out there on the first page, I'm starting to play with other influencers and those who have services already built. My stuff I'm just never going to sell. The art, sure, I'll create it for donations, but I've never sold anything on Self Trust Academy. It's always been at no charge. I'm not here to sell stuff. And when it's fun to have experience points and to have credits, and similar to Zelda, go get that sword and that shield and whatnot. So while I'm not doing it, AERA ARK's doing it, Rene Garcia is doing it. There are many others who are offering their time for an energy exchange. And now what I do is I create an exponential energy exchange, and now I help guide more towards them. And I also experience in that benefit. And where others, I used to, in financial education, I'd say, well, what do you want? You want me to be there or not? 50% is better than 100% of nothing. So if you want me there and to do the appointment, I'll do it at 50%. Though if I'm not there, you got a great opportunity of 100% of nothing. And I then switched that over to the affiliate marketing world and realized, oh, wow, there are others who are paying for marketing, paying for click ads, paying for all of this stuff. And wait a second, I'm able to turn it on, turn it off, set it up, hit it hard for a week or two or month, and then never touch it again. This Choose Healy site, if I were to turn it on again, I am confident I would be making a bunch of money. And in reality, I'm on to this AERA ARK, and this is what I feel more called to, and my life is more optimal. And I see reality for what it is, and what is real is it's getting better and better and better. And Ryan, you sent me a message on the resonance. What is going on, man, with the resonance?
Oh, the residency. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the residency, by the way?
That's where people come to. When we started the whole thing with AERA ARK, it started with just the trusts, right? And we didn't have anything else. But because she had written the trust for herself and our family, there was other people that were kind of wanting that. And we had done things for free for years. Like, I mean, to the point where it was hurting us financially and we were struggling. And creator is not here to make people poor mentally and even financially or physically. Like, you're supposed to be abundant, but in that retrospect, in the world we live in, everything is transactional. In the old ways, it used to be bartering, right? I have this corn, you have that wheat, let's do a trade and barter, right? There's a value for a value. Right now, the biggest value system that the whole world recognizes is currency. It's money, it's coins, it's paper. So in order for us to be amplified for the kingdom, to build what we're trying to build, that needs money flow. So we went from this, instead of giving everything away for free, which if you go on our channel, we give everything we talk about, it's there. Like, you could literally build your own trust, you could do all your own paperwork, you don't even need to talk to us, and you could still do everything that we are talking about for yourself without spending a dollar to us. But we offer that trust for the people that are in alignment for, hey, I'm in that mindset. I don't struggle with money. I don't have a lack mentality. I am, there, and I just want to be in the right community, but I also want this trust for my family and to create a legacy, create a will, something that has that energy of the as above tied to my life now, so that they can put themselves into that space. So we offer the resonance trust, which is not going to be something that's in the system or recognized. I don't want to say recognized by, but it's not going to be like paperwork in the system. That is your family trust. That is something that is going to be for generations of what do you want protected inside of the as above jurisdiction.
The residency is just for those, because I knew that there was a group of people who already were singing the song that I was singing, and that I wouldn't have to get them into their note in tune with what I was talking about. And so I needed to find those people, the needles in the haystack, that we knew we weren't going to be funded by the system, and that it had to be something that we're saying residency, but we knew that we wouldn't be funded by the system. It made no sense to go that route. And so we were like, okay, how can we bring everybody together where we're all investing the same into the space that we're agreeing to be in together, and have this 4-year record that's surrounding everything we do. So now when our residents come in, they already have that 4-year record backing anything that they ever go to challenge. So if they were to get a speeding ticket or whatever it is, and we know that the people that come in our community are not out here doing and causing harm.
Yeah.
So therefore we know it's just little things that they're dealing with. Like, let me challenge property tax. Let me challenge the service providers and things like that. Credit card debts, whatever it is. But they can go and do that. And then they can cite our domicile that they're now a part of, and separate the two between what the legal system is claiming them as and what they are. And they'll be able to say, also, if you want to make a claim towards me going forward, you need to answer all the questions for this 4-year unrebutted record before we can even have a conversation. Because this is where a lot of people get stuck, is that they're trying to have this conversation. They're trying to validate me. I need the system to recognize me and validate me and acknowledge me. And we don't need any of that. We don't need them to do any of those things. We do that for ourselves. And so when people get back these notices or reply back, they're like, oh, I got to send another notice. No, you don't. All you have to say is, I've already given you the notice. You defaulted on the notice. There's nothing left for us to talk about until you've provided the proof that I've asked you for. Until that moment, I have nothing else to say to you. And I don't care if it's a police officer, a judge. I ran the entire courtroom out and closed down the court for 24 hours off of one piece of paper, simply asking for proof of their authority to do
Shit.
what they do.
We just had a guy that lives over in Missouri who was arrested and being charged and sentenced
He was
because he
at his
carried brass
arraignment.
knuckles. He was
Yeah.
carrying brass knuckles, which is a lethal weapon in their terms, right? But he was using it for defense. He already was getting sentenced. He had already been charged, and he was going to court to get sentenced to go see how long he was going to go serve in jail. He was already at a, I've already, it is what it is. I'm already at the rock bottom of, I got nothing to lose. Let me send in the 40 burdens of proof. He customized it to fit his things, even just took some of the template versions and put it into his document, got into court, and the attorney and the judge both left and canceled it, and he never went to jail. In the middle of court, because he was sitting there just like, oh, I don't need a,
Well, they
you
were
don't need
trying-
to represent me.
Yeah, they were
And
trying to coerce him to
yeah,
give his authority over to the attorney. The attorney was trying to tell the judge, he's not mentally capable of representing himself because he turned in that notice. So he turned in that notice and they started saying that, oh, he's not capable of representing himself. We need to do it for him.
Yeah.
And so he was like, no, I didn't give you authority to say that. We're not doing this. And the attorney that was trying to represent him asked him, are you sure? The judge told me to ask you, are you really sure that you're going to do this? Because if you submit this, then the judge is going to arrest you immediately. Like this is going to go really bad for you. They were threatening him
fear.
if he would have submitted it. And he said, no, I stand behind everything I said in that notice. You can keep it. And just looked at her and she was just dumbfounded.
like, "Are you
And
serious?"
she turned around, walked back, went to the judge, and they tried their little game. And then he demanded that the judge provide the proof, and the judge couldn't, and the judge left he said, let's go to recess for a second. And then the attorney came back out, escorted him out of the courtroom, and told him the case is dismissed, you can go home.
He'd already been found guilty.
And that video, he did the whole video and testimony himself. The residency is so that we're literally taking all of the darkness and turning back to light. We're taking all of the fiction and turning it back to fact. And so everybody that is with us right now is coming knowing, hey, I want to see this mission expand. I want to see the work that you're doing expand. I want to invest in that work. This isn't about anything other than that. You're getting all of the trust. I'm automating everything. So when you come in, you'll be able to make your own IDs, your own standing records, your own
Birth
trust.
certificates.
Yeah, birth certificates for your kids, everything. You'll be able to do that once I get the automation done. That's my biggest focus right now is how can I automate all of that? Because as you can see, I have a baby and I only have one hand and it's really hard to get all this done with one hand. So I need absolute automation on everything. But yeah, that's what that is. And so you're coming in, you're returning back to what you truly are. We're all from the ether. So I'm not American. I'm not German. I'm not Australian. I'm none of those things. Those are all labels and classifications that were made by the legal system to dictate directives and performance for the legal system of the role of the race. So race is a role. So are we going to play the character role of the race? Or are we going to return to what we are? So I didn't emerge from America. I emerged from the ether. So therefore, I truly am Etherian. And that's the only thing that I claim if I'm going to claim anything whatsoever other than just being who I am naturally. So that is what you can claim as well. Your ID will say that. And it starts out with you get all of this stuff from us. We're finalizing everything, but you can also, what I love is that this can become creative because every one of you that comes in and you now bring your family over to this, it's like when you go into the legal system and they make a new nation, it's the same concept, except you're a kingdom. Your family is its own kingdom. And now you can make your own currency. You can make your own IDs. You can make your own passports. You can do all of those things that you want to do. You don't have to just use ours. Ours are going to be a temporary thing before a creator comes to you and says, hey, this is what I want yours to look like. And you start going and letting that creativity flow. We live in a world where they want to shut down our creativity. They want to hinder our creators' flow through our hands. And this is about bringing that flow back and letting creator just let loose and unleash himself in the physical dimension through all of our hands.
Yep.
And you've got WAP so that anyone who is myself, I came on board and said, white, do you have an affiliate program? The first affiliate to be again for right optimal time, optimal place. And I have seen this website go from hardly anything in a very short amount of time to being super duper impressed, by the way, of what it is that you have here, and to dive into the legal analyzer and to see all it is that it's pushing out. It's wild to know that once others are, we're now getting in their way of they're going in this way, we're all going in this way, we're all going in this way. And now it's a question is, because there's been a few that I was testing out to see if they're to lead off the way or to encourage the way. And it's been kind of curious to see what comes up when I push the shadow with others in existence. And when I got here, there just wasn't it. I just couldn't push a shadow. I'm going, is there any shadow here to push? Nothing. And to feel that peace as a manifester, and that's in human design, the self theme is to feel that peace and to know where it has gotten me along this way. And simply more about me. If I'm not challenging and I'm not explaining and I'm not clarifying, I'm not optimal. And so the direction that I'm going may feel as though it feels like it's challenging, and that may realize that manifestor piece. And with this, I've really enjoyed our interactions of getting and seeing more about what it is that the AERA ARK is truly, so that when I open my mouth, shift directions, place it out, and you all are ready for that automation. I've been priming you. I said, we're going to follow the twos. Did you hear? And everything it is that we do, we're following these twos, and you'll find them everywhere. I pointed out multiple, your son's losing his second tooth today. We're talking about William Blackstone, section number 2. It's that placenta energy of that witchcraft that we're in. That when we know ether way instead of which way, then the delta and that restoring, regenerative, because everybody's fucking looking for a remedy. Yeah.
And
Everybody's
they are
looking
the
for
remedy.
well, they're looking for restoration. I'll tell you what, it's in harmonization of alpha waves. It's in harmonization of alpha and delta. It's the realization of fertilization and before fertilization, beyond last breath, continuous, contiguous. And to be at this place where it's very simple in what it is that I showed all today. All are harmonizing with the attunement that if there was sleep deprivation, you're welcome. Parkinson's, schizophrenia, diabetes, insulin resistance, fibromyalgia, any of this, narcolepsy, depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, attention hyperactivity disorder, they are all now attuned, similar to the way that Ryan and Brandy have attuned this physical dimension, knowing over that same amount of time I've been in the ether, and to be able to have commanded that space feels pretty well. And to be able to know that that number 2 is the REM, it is the delta, and what is in REM jurisdiction, that's the question. So now that we have our dreams back and that dream state, to be able to dream with our eyes open, instead of it being a nightmare and being in their story, now to be able to harmonize and attune, there's no more triggers. That's with the maritime submarine consciousness in the marriagement of the blastocyst and the uterine wall, that marriagement, that maritime, Mary patron saint. It's the 2, it's the second godly estate. And to be able to know that energetically, I've been waiting for someone to show me that way of how to do it. I have attempted every single way. And what I know about this design is I fail really fucking hard by myself and the first time. And I was doing a lot of things first time. So to be able to exactly in that moment, not have those triggers come up, not go on a grief cycle, see their frequencies coming, and no longer have technology disrupt, no longer have cars blow up, no longer have those into our life. This is it. It's really simple. And this is what the Self-Trust Academy does. What is happening here as the nation of the Self-Trust Academy has already been formed, and to be able to speak as a king and be a joker in someone else's castle and to be welcomed. So that's who I am. And I follow the shit, and it brought me here and to be able to see 50,000 members in your group, I hope that all that automation is in there on time. And I know it will be, and it will be ready. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And so I am. And I welcome others, as many as possible, to be able to know that if you don't have an affiliate team lead on someone who's able to train and teach and automate, I have helped, and this is where I'm not a fan of blowing smoke. I am a fan, though, of going back and seeing that this dude had cancer, he had a heart attack and type 1 diabetes, and he had Parkinson's. He does not anymore. And these are his words, slob of a cop. And now he is on the stages with Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, and he is with all these dudes. He is now the energy productivity coach. He's an energy productivity coach. And to know that all of the ways to get wherever it is that anyone wants to go, all I'm saying is I know nothing, and who knows? And when one knows who in the unknown, it's nice to have one of those around. And so since I have that one piece and I'm attuned with that, just know that wherever it is that we decide to go, it's just getting started. Thank you for being here today. Every transformation begins in the unknown. I invite you to stand in what is true. Authority is the result. Until we meet again, hear these epic videos. And if you haven't already, don't follow me. I'm not a guru. And don't do anything I say. Every transformation begins in the unknown. I invite you to stand in what is true. Authority is the result. Until we meet again, hear these epic videos. And if you haven't already, don't follow me. I'm not a guru. And don't do anything I say.